The session brings together distinguished voices in security, diplomacy, and national strategy. I request our speakers to kindly join us on stage as I call their names. Firstly, Lieutenant General Amir Riaz, Hilal Imtiaz, military retired, is a distinguished veteran of the Pakistan Army with a highly decorated career that spanned over 3 decades. Known for his strategic acumen and leadership, he held numerous critical command and staff appointments. Notably, he has served as the Director General Military Operations, DGMO, and held the prestigious commands of both the Southern Command and in Quetta and the Corps in Lahore. Beyond the battlefield, his intellectual leadership was cemented during his tenure as the President of the National Defense University. Today, as the President of the Center for Global Strategic Studies, he remains a leading voice in shaping Pakistan's strategic thinking. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you for getting me over here. To the subject, which is the emotions obviously run deep when a conflict takes place, and by the grace of Almighty Allah, Pakistan finished it on the top and will continue to do so, inshallah. But that said, I would like to delve a little deeper into the strategic and operational aspects of how things happened and how things are planned to be able to achieve that on a given day. The story of the preparation for such kind of an eventuality began a long time back. All 3 services of Pakistan, the Pakistan Air Force, Pakistan Army, Pakistan Navy, and the Strategic Plans Division, and many other people who are not directly perhaps involved with the armed forces, many years ago, to look at the policy aspects and the strategy of the Indians as it is going to pan out. And there was one single reason for that discussion which lasted for many days and weeks before Pakistan decided to take certain measures. There was a study which was carried out, it was carried out many times over, where it was carried out that how that Hindu supremacist organization, which was formed somewhere in the late 20s, or at least came to fore in the late 1920s, they gradually took control of the body politic of the Indian system. And the policy was finally defined by their Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, who's still the Prime Minister, in one of the speeches in New Delhi when he said that now we are going to Balochistan. He named Balochistan. And we could see that what was coming. So the construct of a war is not just an armed conflict. The construct of war is application of the indirect strategy, which is in the form, which is in several forms. They said we will isolate Pakistan, they will destroy Pakistan economically, they will use proxies, and they say it. And they have been saying it many times over. They will diplomatically isolate Pakistan, they economically weaken Pakistan, they will create dissensions within Pakistan, they will use proxies, they will use violent terrorism in Pakistan, and if need be, they will use their military also to undermine Pakistan's deterrence. That was the policy. So that brought people from various walks of life to think about how to now move from here. It was expected that someday insanity will prevail, because please remember, a war or an armed conflict between 2 nuclear states is sheer stupidity. But human beings do make stupid mistakes. They are driven by their ideologies, they are driven by their nationalism, they are driven by hubris, and sometimes they live in a delusion. We targeted Indian capabilities, that in multi-domain operations we're going to target their capabilities and will defeat them in any eventuality, in any form of military conflict that will emerge. The first demonstration of this took place in 2019 when in Pulwama they conducted a false flag operation. I'll talk about it a little bit also, what is a false flag operation and what's a policy-driven false flag operation, how all these things happen and why they happen. We saw it a little bit in 2016, you might not be very aware of it, but then was 2019, which was quite in the open, when the Indians for the first time used their air force in Pakistan in a swift retort. The counter operation was swift retort, in which Pakistan downed their aircraft and one of the pilots was in captivity in Pakistan for a few days and all. So that was the first thing. Now come 2025. And another policy-driven false flag operation was conducted at Pahalgam, and then the rhetoric began. Let me tell you, the platform to platform, they had more numbers. Rafale is not an ordinary aircraft. So it had to be the complete capability. The whole spectrum had to be dealt with. The electronic warfare, the cyber, the air, the missiles, the ranges, the radars, everything had to come in sync while defeating that of the enemy. And that was done on night 6th, 7th, and Pakistan Air Force was the lead agency in that. Pakistan cannot allow this to happen. Our strategy is deterrence-based, that you cannot violate Pakistan's territorial integrity and sovereignty and get away with it. This is a decision which was also made a long time back, but obviously the political military leadership of the day had to carry the burden of making this decision. On night 9/10th, there was a lot of pressure which was being exerted from everywhere in the world, because nuclear states are nuclear states, and people do get worried across the world. There was a lot of pressure which was coming in from everywhere, but then Pakistan military and Pakistan political leadership had decided that in the larger national security interest of Pakistan, the response, offensive response, shall go, and it went. It was a response which was cyber, electronic warfare, the missiles, the drones, and the aircrafts. The Indians were very, very proud of their S-400s. The S-400 was taken down. And by the way, there are lots and lots of people in the military domain who are still surprised that how Pakistan could do it, but Pakistan did it. So that message was brought home well and proper on the morning of 10th. This time, their cabinet committee of the security, they met, they did not name Pakistan. In rhetoric, Operation Sindoor continues. In reality, deterrence has been established. They did not put it on Pakistan. They did not even call it a terrorist attack. They said an incident, which happened right next to their army headquarters. So that's deterrence back in place. But that said, it's not over yet. But this is not over in rhetoric, and they continue to say it. So we have to be prepared. And one element which is at work consistently is their indirect strategy, in the form of several proxies which are happening in Balochistan, in KP from Afghanistan and from other places, and they have partners in that. So that's where the Pakistani nation, all elements of the state power will have to come together to deal with it. Diplomatic, political, economic, military, national resolve, information, all has to come together to deal with it. It happened in late April, the thing in Pahalgam, and it ended on the 10th May. All domains, the political domain, the diplomatic domain, Pakistan dominated. The information domain, they made mockery of themselves, Pakistan dominated. In the military domain, Pakistan clearly dominated. And obviously, when you put all this together, it put Pakistan back on the regional and the global stage as a nuclear responsible power, not only capable of defending itself, but also contributing towards regional peace, and the reflections of it now you are seeing, as Pakistan stands as an interlocutor between the United States of America and Iran, and hopefully that comes to a reasonable end.
Secondly, I'll request Mr. Mushaid Hussain Sayyid to please join us on stage. Former Senator and Federal Minister for Information, Broadcasting and Culture, Mushaid Hussain Saab is a prominent and influential Pakistani politician, journalist and intellectual, currently serving as a member of the Pakistan-China Institute as the president.